Family group was a structure that was created to address the social and emotional disconnect between students and staff. And so each member of East has a group of 10 or 12 students they meet with every single day for half an hour.
In order to make family group real and to make it a place that issues can come out and be resolved, there must be a level of trust between and among the kids and between the kids and the adults in the room.
And it wasn't embraced well by all at first because it was something different. You know, the whole EPO process I don't think was embraced well at first, you know, for the first year. But I can say by this third year, I see such a tremendous difference in an embrace.
Family group was something that we had to get adapted into because it was where you have students from different grades. You have 10 students with one teacher with different grades, and then they're together. And then we just sit down around the circle and we talk about personal problems. Kids from the city don't just come and talk to a random person about their personal problems. You have to be able to get along with people or trust them, especially people that, you know, we are from the city. So it's hard for us to trust anybody that just come up to us and like, we can't just tell you our problems. That's like, we feel like that's none of your business type thing.
We were dealing at first with a lot of cutting. Of course, the mistake we made was to put it right before or after lunch, which kind of invited that.
When we first started family group, we used to have like hall sweeps. Like you got to have hall sweeps because these kids aren't going to family group. They hide in the cuts and the crevices. Because it was new. Like I'm not going in the family. I'm telling them I'm not going in there. You know, and so we walking around SSOs and people like, where's these kids? We got to get them in family group. I don't want to go to family group. My family group does. My family groups do. You know, and go through all that process. But now the bells are ringing and our halls are clear.
Now attendance in family group is very good, often 100%, and the impact that it can have on, I think, how kids view life, how they view each other, probably best indicated by the reductions that we've seen in suspensions and the reductions we've seen in students disagreeing with each other enough that it becomes physical. There are very significant reductions in those areas. And a lot of that has to comes back to the restorative practices that are introduced in family group and the idea that we have to talk these things out and work them out before they work themselves out someplace, you know, in the hallways.
I feel like being in family group, we are trained as scholars individually to know that if I have a problem with somebody, I know what I can do. I can gather them around with people from the school, like an administrator. I could come and gather them around and we could just talk. They could just be we could have a family group circle that we call here, a family group circle.
Circles and family group, there's usually like a talking piece, and especially in the lower school, you're gonna use it a lot because the talking piece relates to only one person talking, and if you have the talking piece, everyone should be listening to you. Like active listening, like eyes on, ears on.
So two things happen in the family groups, I think. One is you build the relationship so they can feel comfortable enough to share. And it also humanizes teachers and adults because sometimes the disrespect and the behaviors, like a teacher getting cussed out, so to speak, in a classroom, it's different when you know that that teacher is a person. You know, and so it's like equal playground in the family group. It's not like we're the adults and you're the student.
It's one of those interventions that I would tell any school district it's worth the investment. The investment of time, the investment of resources, the investment of energy. Because if it creates a calming sense of self and a calming sense of the day for me, I can imagine what it does for those students who may have had the roughest night.
I think one of the beauties of our family group time is that it's really an opportunity for every person to grow and be nurtured. And some people probably originally thought the purpose was for scholars, but I find that what our scholars give back to us has been just as beneficial.
You have the same core of people there every single day to rely upon. And it really allows me to just rethink and refocus. It also is a daily reminder of what we're there for. We're there to help kids develop, but more importantly, we're there to help ourselves develop and think differently around the work that it will take to transform urban schools.